Welcome back to LogTechie, and in this tutorial we're going to look at form and input. Okay, so I'm going to call my title form and input. So in our form tag here, in our body tag here, we're going to start with form. Whenever you have an input to use, your input must be used in a form tag before it to be responsible. All right, so we're going to use a form tag. A form tag is just like this, form. All right, and after opening our form tag, we're going to look at some input tags. All right, first we'll look at the text input type, and then we'll look at the date, email, password, and the rest. We're going to look at this. Okay, let's assume you have a registration form to create. How can you make use of input tag to get this done? Let's see how to use it. First, we are going to group everything in div because we want them to be arranged. So I'm going to be using div to group each of these elements one after the other. So for the first name, something like the first name, I'm going to group it in a div. Second name, last name will be in div. Everything is going to be in a div. I'll tell you the reason later. So this is all we need to do. We are going to open the div tag. Okay. And inside this div tag, we can have a label. You know, if you see some form, you see you have a place to type name, but still at the top, you're seeing something like name. Okay, so something like first name, and you see a box to type the name. Okay, well, the place you are seeing something like first name is the label tag, while the place you are typing the name into is the input tag. So we'll create a label for this, and label will be like this. Now, in this label tag, you label for something. We'll say for, and I'll tell you the reason very soon. So we'll say label for, like for the first name, I can say F name, and we'll close the label tag. All right, in here, I'm going to say first name for our label. Okay, I think that is all we need to do there. And after this label tag, we'll shift down and make use of our input tags by saying input. And input is a single tag that doesn't have a closing tag, as you can see. And in our input tag, we can have something like the type of the input that we want the users to use. Okay, like for name, we can make use of something like test. So we say the type should be set to test. Type will be equal to test. And as you can see on the screen, we have our label tag as first name, and we have an input tag where user can input some data. All right, let's look at other things to do to this. Okay, we give this a for of F name. What does is that whenever a user click on the label tag, the input tag will automatically open itself for the user to input the data. That is why we make use of the for in our label tag there. To make this responsible, your for, with any value you're having in your for, will be the same value for your ID. So in our input, we'll give it an ID of F name as well. So it's going to have an ID of F name. And let's check this on our site. If you click on the label tag, you can see it opened the input tag for you. That is just all about that. In some form, you see that you will see a label tag, and also you will see that you will see some text in it, like enter your first name. How do you do that? Okay, it also have it. We can also have the attributes in our input tag here. In input tag, there are a lot of attributes. We have the text attribute. We have seen it. We have the ID attribute. You can have a name attribute. That's for your back-end development. Since we're not on back-end development yet, I'm not going to elaborate on that. And for this front-end development, we can make use of something like that to guide the user on what to do. Okay, like we can say enter your username, enter your first name. To do that, it have an attribute called a placeholder. So use your attribute. It's called placeholder. And the placeholder will be equal to the text. It can be any text. As far as it's in a quotation, I can say something like enter your first name. And if we play this, you're going to see that in there. This is just a guide. If they start typing, it will disappear. Okay, that is another attribute that you can add in your input tag. All right, you can see our label tags and the input tag, they are in line together. If we want the first name to be at the top, for now, you can use CSS to do that. But for now, that we are doing only HTML, we can use the break tag, which is the BR. And I think the job is done. We have the first name at the top, then we have the input at the bottom. All right, let's go back and then get some other things. We have looked at the input types. Okay, we have looked at the input types. Now, if we want to get the last name, we can do the same thing that we did up here. All right, I just copied it. So here now I can change it to L name, and here will be last name, and where we have here again is going to be L name, and here will be last name. And that is it. So we have two input tag, the one for the first name and the one for the last name. All right, that is for text type. Next, we're going to look at password tags. Anything that is secret, you can make use of the password tag for it. So let's open our div tag. And still here, we're going to have our label for this. I'll call it label. Please, I'm not going to use the for anymore. I've shown you how it works. And here, I'm going to say password. And then below it, we're going to use our input tag. And our input tag, I'm sorry. In our input tag here, the type now will be set to what? The password type equal to password. That's just it. Let's play on the screen and see. You can see here we have the password, and once I click into it and I'm typing anything, it's going to be showing it in bullets. So you can see it's not showing the actual password we are typing. This is how to achieve this, just with the use of the input tag set it to password. That is all. Okay, and also we have an input tag for email and the rest, but since I'm not going to be validating this form yet, I don't have that time. I'm going to show you another one. Let's look at date. Maybe you want to collect date of birth of your user. Let's see how to do that. So we're going to get another div as well. And my bad. All right. Inside this div, we'll also have a label. And then this label I'm labeling for DOB, which is date of birth. And down below it, we can make use of our input tag. And this input tag, I'll give it a type of dates. Then we'll close the input tag. And we'll close the tag for the input tag and try to play. And what this will do is that it will create a calendar for you. You can see we have it like this. You can see how it is. Once we click on it now, we can set a date, and the date will appear on the screen here. And if you have a date, you can clear it and it can be empty, and we can click to select an actual date of birth. Maybe someone that was born in 1999. You can just click where they're having year there, scroll back top to select the year, and once you select the year, you have an option to select the month. You can use this arrow to select months. Maybe in September, you go there, and you can also select the actual date of birth. Maybe it's 10th, and click on set, and that is all. The date of birth will appear right in the DOB box. All right, that is date type, and the type must be set to date before you can do that. All right, we have many of them, but I'll stop here for now. Once the class keep going, we'll see more of them and we'll see how they work. All right, but still before that, let me show you one. We have another tag called tail. We have an input type called tail. So here I'm going to use input direct. I'm sorry, I don't have much time. And we can set the type to tail. Like this can be used for collection of phone number or some kind of OTP, because what it does is that it will open the number keyboard side. You see, once you select it, it's going to open the number keyboard side. It will not open the normal keyboard. For the one of text, it will open the normal keyboard side where you can do everything and navigate. But if you're making use of tell as your type, it will open the number area only. As you can see that what to show there is everything that has to do with only number. So we can use this for either collection of OTP or collection of phone number in some cases. All right.